I found that people who get in relationship problems can really easily identify with one of these three roles. They either say, I am a rescuer, or I am a victim, or I can be a persecutor at times. It's important to know sort of the traits of that role. So starting with the persecutor, they like to play the game of, now I've got you, you SOB. They often set strict limits unnecessarily, and they are fond of blame and criticism. They really like to keep a victim oppressed. They'll look for opportunities to keep that victim in a place of submission. They are mobilized by their anger. Anger is something that really fuels them. They tend to be very rigid and very authoritative, and they can be identified as a critical parent. So next will be the victim. The victim likes to play the game of poor me. Oh, poor me. I am so victimized, oppressed, helpless, hopeless, powerless. I am so ashamed of who I am. I really need a good rescuer who's going to help me. And oftentimes they'll block themselves from making decisions, from solving problems, and from their own pleasure, because they're just so accustomed to be that victim that they get a lot of strokes and a lot of attention oftentimes for being that victim. Then the last role is that rescuer. The rescuer is like, I can help, let me help you. You'll be glad you knew me when I'm gone. They're a person who rescues when nobody really asked them to rescue. They feel guilty if they don't rescue, and they often will keep that victim dependent. They give the victim permission to fail. Some very well-meaning parents create a rescuer role for themselves and their children as victims by keeping them dependent. I am very fond of Coach John Wooden's saying, which is, never do for another human being what they could and should do for themselves. That rescuer-victim dynamic really keeps kids in that role where they feel that they just can't get up and do something for themselves. As a parent, our job is to give them the tools so they can create their own life, make their own mistakes, their own decisions, and ultimately live the life they really want. So think of that next time you're in an interaction with someone and you sense that a game is happening. What roles are being played? Who's the victim? Who's the persecutor? And who's the rescuer? And when you see that happening, I think you'll be able to say, there are ways to get out of this game, and I'm going to employ one of them.